Moving on, Tata Motors has inked a pact to acquire 26.79% stake in logistics startup Freight Tiger for 150 crore rupees. Now, Freight Tiger is a digital platform that provides end-to-end logistics value chain solutions for cargo movement within the country. The platform connects shippers, carriers, logistics service providers and fleet owners to a single digital marketplace. Joining me now to talk about the fundraise and Tata Motors' big bet on Freight Tiger is Swapnil Shah, the founder and CEO of Freight Tiger, and with me, my colleague Shruti Mishra. Swapnil, thank you so much for joining us on Startup Street today. With this fundraise, like I said, Tata Motors has acquired about 27% stake in your company. What are the synergies and innovations you anticipate resulting from this partnership, and how much more will they invest in Freight Tiger going forward?
Good to be here. So Freight Tiger started with, in a way, making shippers in the country efficient with our software platform. And when you think about this partnership with Tata Motors, we've always focused as a company on organizing some of the country's largest shippers. And one way to look at the shippers is every transaction that happens in the country when goods move from point A to point B, we, in our terminology, call them trips or transactions. Our focus has always been on transactions and making it efficient, transparent. Tata Motors, on the other hand, has the trucks ecosystem. As you're aware that they're the largest commercial vehicle manufacturers in the country. And by 2030, majority of these vehicles in India will have a telematics and an IoT device. And we think about, as Tata Motors is doing this for the truck ecosystem through the platform they have called Fleet Edge, in a way, you are combining what we bring from trips ecosystem to the trucks. And that combined offering allows us to solve problems that we couldn't solve before. And it brings benefit to all the stakeholders in the ecosystem.
Okay, Swapnil. Now, before we get to the fundraise, if you could elaborate on how Freight Tiger's digital platform is streamlining the logistics industry in India. You know, you spoke about being transparent and bringing in efficiency. So tell us, what kind of efficiency are you bringing to shippers, carriers, and the other stakeholders in the supply chain?
For a while, I used to implement Toyota production systems in logistics environment. And if you think about a concept of any kind of waste in any process or any transaction, what Freight Tiger does and our software does, it looks at literally every single step from the time our customers receive an order all the way to delivered. And very simply, you think about something like when you order a simple food delivery through either Zomato or Swiggy, you have that end-to-end visibility from the time you place the order till it gets delivered, till the payments get reconciled. And you will be surprised that crores worth of cargo moves in this country on trucks. And that level of visibility and control and automation is just not there in freight. So we do three things. When you think about that order to delivery and procure to cash, we compress that cycle. That brings efficiency. We bring real-time visibility into the transaction. Every step is measured, monitored. We reduce the waste in it. That improves asset utilization and reduces the waste, as we talked about. And the last, along with shippers, logistics service providers, or as you call transporters in the country, they play a massive role. And every other startup potentially that has started before, or people that are trying to build solutions in this ecosystem, have often competed with them. Freight Tiger is a neutral platform. We actually partner with logistics service providers. And one of the largest costs for a logistics service providers is they go to many offline channels to identify trucks and capacity.
Absolutely. You're making the entire process transparent there. But Swapnil, we're running out of time. So if in 30 seconds you could tell us, you've raised these funds, how do you plan to allocate them? Any new offerings in the pipeline?
Yeah, absolutely. The biggest one is product. We are excited to accelerate our product roadmap with this investment. The second is, of course, we want to scale the company now as rapidly as possible. And Tata Motors and Tata Group are known to build institutions, so there is no better partner in scaling Freight Tiger with their help. So product roadmap and scaling the operations are the two main priorities going forward.
All right, Swapnil, what about revenues? Where are you currently at and what's the road to profitability looking like?
We measure profitability in terms of gross margins and contribution margin. We are already healthy 70% gross margins, 30 to 35% contribution margin. So by that metric, our unit economics are really solid. And the path to get to about $100 million of net revenue over the next 4 to 5 years is where our focus is.
Right.
And we want to double revenue 2x year over year for the next 4 to 5 years.
So you want to double your revenues year over year for the next 4 to 5 years. Right, Swapnil, thank you so much for joining us on the show today. We're completely out of time, but we wish you all the best going forward.
Absolutely. Thank you. Good to be here.
All right, on that note, it's time for us to head into a short break. But coming up, we put the spotlight on new venture debt fund Valuable, which looks to raise 850 crore rupees via its maiden fund, and also take stock of Urja, a clean tech company's bid to help accelerate the transition to net zero buildings. That and more on the other side. Stay tuned.